Welcome, valued listeners, to another episode of Omnipresent Information Connection. My name is Noah Hansen, here with Kevin Peterson. We are your co-hosts. How are you doing today, Kevin?
Every day is the greatest day of the rest of my life, just being alive.
Amen. I'm happy to hear that. Today, I would like to invite you, first of all, to get out your pens and paper or whatever writing utensil you prefer, because this episode is on the power of journaling.
Yes.
This is right off the CDC's website, actually, is what I'm about to read you here. Journaling may help you understand your challenges and strengths, clarify your thoughts and feelings, solve problems, recognize successes, and manage information overload. That's just a short list of what journaling can do for you. It can also decrease stress in your life. Stress can raise blood sugar and leads to a whole lot of inflammation and health issues. So journaling, being able to have that release, is very powerful. So that's right off the CDC's website. They recognize all those health benefits and possibilities just in journaling. If you want to take a deeper dive into why and how science has figured out that journaling does have health benefits, we cover that in one of the OIC in a New Way videos titled Writing Has the Power to Heal, and of course we'll have that link in the description for you. On top of all the health benefits that are found in journaling also can come in many different forms, and we're going to be going over that briefly in this podcast for you as well. But Kevin, I want to turn it over to you because I know you have a plethora of really wonderful things to say to our listeners here today.
Thank you, Noah. Great introduction. And I really do have some pretty solid nuggets to be able to share with you of information that you might be able to find a new way of being able to journal, a new way of being excited about journaling, and a new way about communicating with yourself to be able to raise your awareness of what you truly can do for you today. So, first and foremost, what is journaling?
Well, Kevin, like I said, journaling can come in many different forms, but overall, journaling is simply writing down your thoughts, your feelings, your intentions, your goals, etc., etc.
Okay. So, how do you begin journaling is often the question that's asked. And so, let me take a gentle walk and a deep dive with you right now. And number one is find the journaling techniques that work for you. There are so many different positive techniques that work for people. You just have to be able to find one or a few that really resonates with you and really completes you as a person while doing it.
Indeed.
The second thing is let go of judgments. Write for your eyes only and not for other people's eyes.
Right. Don't care about if you got some spelling errors or grammar errors in there. What's really important is that you're doing this act to be able to benefit your own life.
Yep. Number three, keep expectations realistic. The reason why you want to be able to do that is because the more real you are with you, the more real you are with whatever it is that may be troubling you. Number four, create a writing routine. So I journal twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. I start my day and then I close out my day so that I can be able to, in the middle, put the substance, the worth of my day within my journal of how I did what I did to be able to accomplish what I accomplished.
Yeah, you're sandwiching your entire day into your journal. It's almost like a book of life.
Absolutely. So, number five, journal about anything that comes to mind. When you do this, you literally tap into a spiritual force, a spiritual energy.
Ooh.
And not to be able to, make you all, concerned with that. What I mean is that you really get to be able to speak to your inner soul as far as who you are as a person.
Right.
And you can be able to literally get a lot of inspiring things that you would have not normally have done by taking the time to be able to journal.
Yeah, for sure.
And so the next one is number 6, use journal prompts. So these prompts can be quotes, they can be positive sayings, they could be pictures, they could be anything that is positive that you can look at to be able to get some kind of inspiration while journaling, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 7, get creative. What I mean by this is not necessarily doodle on the page or to be able to literally draw a picture of what is going on in your life, but to be able to get creative and to be able to find new solutions, new ideas in a new way to be able to manifest or to be able to bring forth these positive changes that need to be made in your life.
Yeah, and that increases creativity substantially. Another thing you can add onto that is if you're looking to increase your vocabulary in life, a great place to start is by considering where in your sentences in your journal you can add vocabulary that you don't often use.
Yeah, because what is the point of journaling? It is simply writing down your thoughts and feelings to understand them more clearly.
Yep, and adding words into to more clearly express what you're thinking is a powerful way of learning.
Yes. Now, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Is journaling ever bad?
Well, it depends on the context of how and why you're journaling, I suppose. A lot of people, it's the same type of journal as their self-talk. And if people's self-talk isn't benefiting their life in any way, shape, or form, it's in fact bringing people down, then if you're writing it on paper, then that's just an extra step in the mix.
Yep.
Same negative conclusion.
But there's 2 other points, possibly 3. But the first 2 is journaling may cause you to overthink your life. Number 1, right?
Yep.
And then 2 is journaling can be too confronting at times. So writing down about negativity might cause you to spiral downward, right?
Right.
So on our website, inanewway.com, you can be able to get the tips, tricks, and techniques that are designed to be able to wholly embody you in heart, mind, and spirit when being able to jot things down so that anything negative can be turned into a positive in a new way, right?
Yes, and that can be found on the Insights tab of inanewway.com. We've also mentioned journaling and actually gone pretty in depth into the art of journaling on some of our past podcasts. So we'll have those in the description as well. The reason we get so organized on our website is because we want you to be able to easily navigate our website to your own personal fulfillment without any extra time spent trying to figure out how to get there. So that's why we try to make it as simple as possible and easily navigatable for you on our website.
Absolutely. So the next question that is often asked is, what does journaling do to the brain? Journaling helps keep your brain in tip-top shape. Not only does it boost memory and comprehension, it also increases working memory capacity, which may reflect improved cognitive processing and boost your mood.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, really good stuff.
It really is.
Because when you have it in your brain and you need to be able to get it out, being able to get it out, like I've got several examples, but for those that have ever watched Harry Potter, to where they put the wand to the brain and then put it into the pool of thought.
Yep, extracting the memory.
Right. Well, it's very similar to that, but what it does is that your memory gets boosted because you now are freeing that thought, that memory, that experience, allowing your brain to be able to expand and contract as almost as if though breathing, and then you can be able to comprehend the information easier because it's not all just globbed up into one section.
Right. It can be kind of hard to understand your own thinking. I know that from experience. It can be very helpful to be able to journal and to be able to just sort out your mind. It's almost like a brain detox, getting it all out and being able to extract that from your own mind so it's sorted and organized.
Mm-hmm. Now, Noah, can I ask you a question?
You sure can, and I'll have an answer.
How has journaling changed your life?
Well, journaling's changed my life in a very devotional way, actually, in devotion to God, because when I journal, it's almost a communication, almost like a prayer between me and God. And it's a gratitude journal is specifically what I have chosen for my main format in journaling. So it allows me to connect at the end of my days with gratitude and reflecting on things that you're grateful for throughout your day and throughout your week can be really powerful in keeping a positive mind and also focusing right, not getting caught up in the negativity of the world, of which there's so much of it, but being able to magnify and highlight the blessings God's given me in life. So that's one way that it's really helped me. But obviously there's a plethora of other reasons that keeping a gratitude journal can benefit someone's life, and it has benefited my life. It's boosted creativity. It's improved my vocabulary. It's allowed me to be more grammatically correct and be able to sort out how to say certain things to certain people at certain times in a more effective manner. It often improves my mood. When I make that step to journal every night, it's definitely a mood booster. I can feel almost more positive, more light after I'm done journaling. And it feels good to have created a journal with so much value in it. And it just feels like I've accomplished something.
Right. So when people ask me, well, how has journaling changed my life? Is keeping a journal is one of the most beneficial habits I've implemented in my life. There are many reasons why, but this is the most important one. It forced me to be honest with myself and be conscious of my actions and my habits.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like meditation, journaling got me to turn off my autopilot and become more present as I was witnessing myself becoming the gift to other people.
Right. Because it's hard to lie on paper. When you're writing down a lie, your brain almost catches you in your tracks. And you can continue writing that lie. And that's one example of how journaling can be negative. You know, you're just continuously lying to yourself. But it's a very positive thing when you recognize the lies that you've been telling yourself, because you start to write them down on paper and you almost can catch yourself more effectively that way.
Yes. Next question. People often ask me, is journaling a waste of time?
It may seem that way to some people who haven't experienced the benefits yet. I would say no, though. For sure, no.
And why is journaling not a waste of time?
Journaling is not a waste of time because any time spent in self-improvement and in building up yourself is a positive thing. It's not a waste of time. And not only can it benefit your life, but it can benefit your family's life. It helps you to become a more effective communicator to both yourself and other people. So journaling really, I can't imagine it's a waste of time unless someone's just completely writing down lies the entire time. And also if you're tossing your journal in the trash afterwards without any reflection. Mm-hmm. Now, there can be a positive way to do that as far as tossing it in the trash. Some people like to write down some traumatic event in their life and burn it, in a waste paper basket, or have some sort of minor ritual or ceremony of releasing that and letting go of it. Mm-hmm. That's one way that can be positive. But if you're writing, and then you're bashing yourself for not writing the proper things, wadding it up in a ball and tossing it in the trash, and you continuously do that, then that can eventually be a big waste of time.
So when journaling, it's very important to be able to understand the whys. Mm-hmm. Because when you understand the whys behind journaling, you become more wise. Right?
Love the wordplay.
Yes, but the bottom line is, why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Why am I acting the way that I'm acting? Why is it that everything seems to be falling apart instead of coming together? Why is it, right? So you have that portion of your journaling. The other portion of the journaling is, how can I then overcome something, or to be able to win at something, or to be able to conquer something? Then the third stage is, this is what I'm implementing to be able to create this change, to be able to create this scenario, to be able to create this situation that is emotionally, physically, and spiritually healthy for me as a person.
Yeah.
When doing that, when you have ESP, you literally can be able to tap into your own personal empowerment as far as what you need to do, when it needs to be done, and how it needs to be done.
Yep.
Right? When you do that, it's hard to feel like a loser when you're literally creating your own guideline to your own life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of people feel lost because often, and this happens often, that most people go to a store, or a parent will go to a store and buy a journal with empty blank pages and tell the child to be able to journal their thoughts. Well, their thoughts, without being in a teaching, training, motivating, directing, and guiding scenario or situation, become as blank as that piece of paper. So what I like to do is I like to be able to start our listeners off with a journal that asks tough questions to get positive results. To be able to literally think of things as you're working on your things, right?
Yeah.
So that they become in harmony with each other. So it's like having a life coach, but right in the palm of your hand as you are taking your hand to be able to write in your journal.
Yes, and of course, people use journaling apps all the time, and journaling apps often have these types of questions included in the journaling. And one great app is called Youper, in which it prompts you on what to write about, and that is very effective in giving you ideas about how to positively journal and benefit your life through that journal.
Yeah, because effective journaling, in many ways, journaling is about getting a better understanding of yourself, past, present, and future. There's no better way than that to understand than to ask why for any feeling you're having or issue you're facing.
Yeah, and one great thing I love about Youper, that's Youper, is the fact that it's almost like a friend in your pocket, where you're having almost a conversation with this AI software in the app. That's one that you recommended to me, actually, Kevin, and one that really did allow me to make the transition into a gratitude journal, like what I have been doing for a long time now, in a more effective way. I knew what I was going to write about it before I started writing, and that was very effective. There's all kinds of these types of journals, though, more centered or focused on one certain topic or another, one certain type of questioning about your life or another. And a lot of them are, as you say, the ESP, emotional, spiritual, and physical, focusing on different emotional aspects of your life, spiritual aspects, and then physical, things happening in your life in the world.
Yeah, putting the information to use.
But there's also different business journals, keeping track of what you're looking towards doing, what you're implementing in life. There's success journals, all types of different journals to be able to focus on what you are most inspired to write about.
Right. And I've got 5 positive tips on how to find your journal style.
Wow, a whole hand.
A whole handful, right? 1 is do what comes easily. I think we all feel like it has to be work in order to be great.
Yeah.
Number 2, don't compare yourself to others. A lot of girls do this often. Number 3, break the rules. Sometimes when I'm journaling, I have to put an all conditions stop on my journaling to be able to get out something that either God has given to me, or I had gotten a all spark of a thought or an idea that I have to be able to write it down. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know how it comes into my mind, but somehow I have to be able to put an all conditions stop on my journaling to be able to write down this beautiful inspirational thing that ends up happening when I'm journaling. And it's so exciting and it's so life fulfilling and it's so rewarding. And I just, like I said, I don't know exactly all the time where it comes from, but I just roll with it. And then I just start writing, and I just start writing and start writing and start writing. And pretty soon I start really getting into a rhythm of self-afflicted love and appreciation for the wisdom that I do have to be able to then really have a different view or perspective on the why I did or had done what was currently done to me, to be able to experience a new way of being able to overcome it.
Yeah, no, it's almost like an enlightenment switch in your own mind. If you want to learn more about what Kevin's talking about in that specifically, we did a podcast called The Allspark, in which we talk about gamma brainwaves, everything associated with this type of experience, and that's a powerful podcast, so we're going to have that in the description for you. Just one note, every time that you think of an answer to a question on a test, what research has shown is a little blip of gamma brainwaves goes off in your brain, and that's what Kevin's talking about here, is that kind of creativity switch that goes off in your mind and sparks a
positive movement within you.
Yes, a positive momentum going forward.
So, number 4, copy and improve upon yourself. Here's what I mean. Sometimes I literally photocopy a part of my journal, put it on my to-do board as far as I need to get this accomplished, right? As I'm going throughout my day, looking at my to-do board, then what ends up happening is that I try to find a new way to improve on being able to accomplish that goal or whatever that I have written down, right? So sometimes you have to copy your own word to be able to then see your word up on a board to then be able to rationalize and realize the importance of what you put up on that board so that you won't be bored, so that you will be proactive in wanting to be able to do something. Because when you see something, you react to something. It's psychological. So if you're wanting a new way, or if you're wanting a new technique of doing something, being able to have that one little section that is really important to you photocopied, or you can copy it onto another piece of paper. But the bottom line is that by doing that, it allows you to be able to image or have an image of what it would look like being accomplished.
Yeah, that's very powerful, because what's the value in what you are journaling if when you close the pages of your journal, you don't remember any of it and you don't apply any of it into your life? It's the same thing with reading the Bible. It's the same thing with reading any sort of self-help book. It's the same thing with any sort of piece of literature that you're reading specifically to improve your life. If when you close those pages, close the cover, you don't take it with you, then there's no value in it.
Yes. And then quickly, number 5 is do it as often as possible. Most people wait until the end of the day to journal because they're getting up. They really don't have the mindset of wanting to journal. They don't have the mindset of reading. They don't have the mindset of doing a bunch of things. Just getting up is a chore, right? So a lot of people feel accomplished by just getting the chore exercise of getting up and getting ready for work, right? Imagine what would happen is that if you literally allowed yourself to dedicate 5 to 10 minutes in the morning to where if you had a dream or if you had a vision or if you had an experience while in your dream state that was proactive, that was positive, you could be able to write that down, right?
Yeah,
to be able to start your day.
That's been powerful in my life as well. Some of the dreams I've had are completely inspiring and completely changes my perspective on the day moving forward just because of some dream that I had.
Yeah. And then on my lunch break, I'll do the same thing. I will read or reflect back on what I've wrote in the morning to be able to see on how well I'm progressing throughout my day. And so if I'm not really wholeheartedly putting something into it, I can be able to mentally kick myself into high gear to be able to then try to be able to do something proactive. And then at night, then I allow myself that same 10, 15 minutes to be able to have a total recap. And it actually says in my journal, recap of the day, right? And I get excited about that because I get to be able to write down all my accomplishments, all the new people that I've met, all the new experiences that I've experienced, the new techniques that I've learned. All these things are just positive. So sometimes I have a whole ending page that is more than my start or my middle,
Yep.
because I have put more life into my day than just between morning, noon, and the night, right?
Yeah.
And so when you do this and when you start writing down all these positives, you almost get addicted to it because you really want to be able to go, wow, I'm really actually accomplishing or experiencing or doing things in a new way that is life-changing, life-enhancing, and life-fulfilling, and all by my own hand.
Yes, that is very powerful, Kevin, and I agree with you completely that it can definitely do that for you. Journaling in the morning can also get the creativity juices flowing in your brain, so to speak. It gets those neurons firing so that you start your day off more productively, more fast-paced, and that extends into the rest of your day. So that's another powerful aspect of journaling. Writing anything really down in the morning can help you get those creativity juices flowing. We are almost out of time for this episode of the OIC. Kevin, I want you to be able to powerfully conclude this episode by telling the listeners how journaling has specifically improved your life and how that can apply to their lives.
The very moment that I started journaling, I started looking forward to the next day. I literally looked forward to being able to wake up and to be thanking God that I had the ability to be able to wake up. Because not all the time in my life has my life been all just a bed of roses.
Right.
So being able to wake up is the first thing of thanks that I give to God for being able to do. Then the next thing is that I write down if I had a vision or a memory or a dream that I knew that would be positive or proactive, I'll write that down. And anything else that would come to mind just real quickly, because you don't have to be an expert in the morning, right? Because it's hard enough just getting up, right? So then from there, I literally put it into my backpack. I mean, I'm so super stoked about it because it's my book of life. If anything were to ever happen to me, people could be able to literally pull out my book of life and instantly be able to see and recognize where I was and what I did and how I did it. And that's very exciting because when you got nothing, absolutely nothing to be able to hide, you have everything to gain and more. It is absolutely a game changer when you are the game master to your own life.
Yep.
So, in conclusion, you have to understand this, that journaling is literally rowing your own boat to your own salvation. You're literally being able to swim to shore. You're literally able to drive yourself to a new way of being driven like you never have before. And then finally, you can be able to soar above the clouds because you no longer need the clouds to be in view. And when you are that high up, all you have is the sun to look forward to. And with that being said is that when you view the sun, you view the Son of God. And when you view the Son of God, you view the very best within you, because God created you to be the very best because he created you.
That's some powerful imagery there. Thank you, Kevin. Listeners, if you're feeling uncomfortable about starting to journal and not really too motivated yet after this podcast, I want to suggest to you that another powerful way to start this is keeping voice memos. Keeping a voice memo may not be as in depth as if you're writing with a pen and paper. It may not be as slow paced. It may be a little more fast paced so you can get thoughts out quicker. But it is a great way to start journaling and getting your thoughts out. Speaking them out loud for your own ears to hear what you're saying is another way to powerfully catch your lies in their tracks, because your brain will instantly recognize that that's a lie. And then you can then in turn deal with that lie that you've just been harboring internally up until that point. So all kinds of health benefits of journaling covered in this podcast and personal application. Thank you, Kevin, for that. And thank you, listeners, for tuning into this episode of Omnipresent Information Connection. There will be tons of links in the description to further reinforce this information and give you more ideas moving forward. We look forward to meeting you on the next podcast.
This has been another life-enhancing, authenticated podcast aired by the OIC and brought to you by the faithful OIC sponsors and contributors. Please tune in every week and subscribe to our podcast. And while you're there, explore our website with all the posts, videos, and podcasts that we have created with you in mind. While you're on the journey through our website, you will see our Patreon page where you can become a faithful contributor yourself with the freedom to be a part of our team today. Thank you.